What's going on, y'all? This is another random topic video. This video is my experiences in talent development. Now, talent development is a program that basically got me and a bunch of other kids from the inner city into URI, University of Rhode Island, for all y'all who don't know. So we had to pass a summer program in order to get to fully become URI students, because unless we pass these 3 classes they gave us, we're not officially URI students. So we went through the program, passed it, and then the fall came, and one thing we had to do as part of our obligation, because they gave us like a scholarship, they gave us like a mentor, and we had to meet with the mentor at least once a week, and we had to show them things like assignments and grades and whatever we needed help with, and they pretty much was there to guide us while we were on the campus. Well, first and foremost, because I didn't have the correct paperwork, I couldn't get my scholarship, which I went past the classes, did everything I was supposed to do. Because I didn't have the correct paperwork, I wasn't able to, I didn't have the correct immigration paperwork. I wasn't able to take part in that, but I still had to show up every week and meet with the TD counselor and all that and do all that stuff. But so fall semester comes and goes, again, we have to show up to these people every week and give them our grades. And a lot of people was failing out. This is my freshman year. People was doing horribly. Like a lot of people was just doing terrible, absolutely terrible. Their grades were slipping. They didn't even look like they was going to make it. And I remember we just had this, they just randomly called this meeting. And it was like, this is a mandatory TD meeting. Everyone has to go to this place. They called us into like some huge hall. I hadn't seen all the talent development kids all in the same place since the summertime. All of a sudden they got us in this meeting. All the counselors are there, all the TD administration people. And we have no idea what this is about. They start talking and they was really pissed off. Like they were pissed off because of all the people who failed, and they let us have it in this meeting. They blamed us for it. They was like, look, some of you guys are failing and it's your fault. Not only that, all the people, even the ones who are in good standing, why are you allowing your classmates to fail? And they just went in on us for at least a good 20 minutes, man. And then at the end of it, the craziest shit happened. After they finished letting us have it, they just literally walk out one by one. They don't dismiss the meeting, say, all right, you guys can leave, or that's the end of it. They literally just, after the whole railing they gave us, they literally just all walked out. Like one by one, and left us just sitting there just looking around at each other, and we're just like, oh shit, like, is it over? Like, can we go now? Eventually, slowly, one by one, we figured the coast was clear, and we got up and walked out. But it had to be one of the oddest things I've ever seen in my life. I guess they wanted to make it really dramatic, just to show us how disappointed they were. Like, we're gonna walk out on you guys because you've disappointed us that much. And a lot of us is like, why the hell is it our fault that these other people are failing? Like how does that really have anything to do with us? I guess our mentality was, it's every man for themselves. Or every woman for themselves, and I certainly felt that way. I mean, it was just an odd thing. Like, I'm like, I definitely didn't feel like I'm supposed to somehow be mentoring my classmates and all this shit. That was kind of crazy to me. I felt like I felt like they dropped the ball because, again, we have to show up to them every week and show them. We literally had to give them like our syllabuses and give them like all our assignments and everything that we had to do throughout the semester. So they knew all the work that we had to do. They knew that once the grades came back, we had to show it to them. I mean, you got to meet with somebody once a week. They're going to know a lot about what you got going on. So it's like, y'all had to be seeing these failing assignments that they was getting. So why are y'all putting it off on us? Blame the people who failed. First and foremost, people are paying a lot of money to go to school. If that's not enough motivation for you to be doing what you're supposed to do, I don't know what is. Like the fact that you're literally damn near bankrupting yourself or killing yourself with all these damn student loans, that's not enough motivation for you to do well and pass your class. I mean, that's kind of crazy to me. So I really didn't feel any obligation to be, holding my classmates up, I mean, honestly, a lot of them wasn't my classmates. Like most of the classes I had, I was like one of the few black people in there. It's not like we had these classes it wasn't like the summer program when we was all together. Most of the classes that we had, we was like the only black person in there. So it's like, how can you possibly put this on us? Like, I thought that was a little crazy to me. We're trying to figure out college ourselves, and y'all are expecting us to look out for even the other college students. Now, if somebody asks you for help, that's one thing. But for us to say, hey, have you done your homework today? Did you pass that exam? Are you studying? Like, nobody's doing all that. You know, again, people's like 18, 19 years old. Like, come on, youngest is 17, and you know they're gonna be turning 18 soon. So it's like, if you don't understand the importance of taking college seriously by then, at 17, 18 years old, I mean, you know, there wasn't much hope for you in the first place. You know, that was just kind of crazy to me. But yeah, so freshman year, you know, I did the whole requirement. You know, I really wanted to make sure I was on top of college. You know, it kind of intimidated me a little bit, and TD made me feel secure, like that we really needed them. Even though I wasn't getting a scholarship, I still went through the whole year. They also had a computer lab, you know, where we got to like print out free paper, and you know, in the university library, you had to pay for it with the money on your card. So that was definitely a huge plus, that, you know, we didn't have to go to the library to use the computer. We could just go to the TD lab. We had our own lab. So that was, you know, it was great in a lot of different ways, but I mean, they was bugging with that shit. But it was all cool freshman year. Sophomore year, I started fucking up. You know, I was one of the kids that started going downhill, and yeah, it was a horrible year academically for me. I had like I had like 2 Fs on. I mean, I don't know what the fuck I was doing that year. So I kind of started falling back from it, because I'm like, I'm not gonna go show her this failed test, this failed homework assignment, this F grade. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. So I kind of stopped going a little bit, because I just knew, I'm like, I have no reason to explain this. We already had the meeting the prior year where they're blaming us for other people. So I'm just like, I'm just going to fall back away from going to these meetings, pick my grades up, and then maybe go back in the future. And, you know, that was just my plan, you know. So I went like fall semester. I'll probably say by spring semester, I was like, yeah, I got to fall back. By junior year, it was like, I came in junior year with a whole new attitude. I got to stay focused in on what's important, which is, you know, making sure that I graduate. So that's when I became, you know, I started doing better with my grades. And really, by that time, after 2 years on campus, I feel like I pretty much, you know, I wasn't intimidated anymore. I feel like I got a handle on things. I'm like, honestly, I just felt like I didn't really need TD anymore, you know. But a friend of mine, you know, my boy Jake, he had just transferred to URI. You know, I remember him, you know, I was talking to, he asked me what the talent development program was, and I was telling him how they give like scholarships and stuff. And he's like, hey, man, you think I can get a scholarship? So I'm like, I can ask. And so when I finally went to my meeting, and she's just like, yeah, wow, you know, it's been a while since I seen you. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, I was going through a couple things. You know, I started, you know, showing up, doing my work, doing a lot better. And she noticed it. She was like, okay, well, you're doing a lot better than you was doing last year. Last year was just terrible, you know. So we reconnected and, you know, rebuilt that relationship. Then I asked her about Jake. I was like, yo, can my boy come by and maybe he could get like, I don't know, some type of scholarship? And, you know, she said, yeah, you know, there's definitely a few different options, so tell him to come by. So I'm like, all right. So I brought him with me the next time I went, and he ends up getting like a nice another scholarship on top of what he already had. I remember being pissed the hell off. You know, because they wouldn't give me shit. Like, I couldn't even get the damn TD scholarship I had earned, which would have been like, I think like $4,000 a year, something like that. I mean, that would have been, especially by my junior year, I wasn't living on campus anymore. So that $4,000 a year, that would have put a huge dent in my tuition. Again, because I didn't have the right immigration paperwork, you know, based on my status in this country. You know, we came here as visitors, so we came here basically on a visitor's visa, and then eventually they gave us like protected status because, you know, Africa had become like a war-torn country. So matter of fact, the Civil War was still going on. Obviously, we wasn't able to return. So we've been under that this entire time. So I've been living here my whole life, no real status in America except you know, temporary protected status, they called it. So that's why I wasn't able to get the right paperwork, and that's why I wasn't able to get no financial aid. I wasn't able to take out any loans, and my mom just had to like refinance the mortgage in order to help pay for all this. So I'm pissed the hell off. I'm like, man, I've been coming here for 3 fucking years, not getting the scholarship that I'm supposed to get. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So once he got the scholarship and I didn't, I'm like, y'all can find money for him, but you can't even give me what I'm supposed to get. You know, so that for me, that was like the last straw. From that point on, I just never went back. You know, so this is like junior year. So I was on campus for like another 2 years. You know, I was a 5th year senior when I graduated. Junior year was the last time I ever went to TD, because by that time I knew how to do everything. I knew a bunch of people on the campus. If I needed help with something, I knew exactly where to go, and I just felt like I didn't need them anymore. So, and it wasn't, again, they're not giving me any money. You know, if the scholarship was still in play, well, or was ever in play, I would have kept going, because, you know, I appreciate the scholarship y'all giving me, but without the scholarship, it's like, the fuck is the point? Again, I had gotten into like 3 other colleges, so I'm sure my grades alone, you know, probably could have got me into URI by myself. Yeah, I stopped going after that, you know. And, you know, I heard people once they graduated, they got like these certificates or whatever, like talent development certificates, but I didn't give a fuck about that shit by then. I was just like, man, I know everything I need to do. I know the requirements for economics. I know the requirement just to graduate, period. If I do have a question, I know where to go. You know, I've been on the campus for this long. I know where everything's at. So, yeah, I'm out of here. You know, I'm not dealing with these people no more, giving them all my assignments, doing all this bullshit. I'm cool. That was the end of my experience with TD. And yeah, that was just the end of it. I graduated and then look back. I don't know what the lessons is learned from this. But you know, after that time, my junior year, I started doing a lot better academically. Senior, all throughout until I graduated. So I think I made the right decision because, yeah, again, the only thing that was really helping me out with was supposedly the scholarship. You know, I didn't need help academically. I mean, you know, I guess they provided that. I think they had like tutors and stuff like that if you needed them. I didn't really need them. You know, my problem was that I wasn't focusing on my schoolwork. I wasn't studying like I was supposed to. I wasn't doing assignments like I was supposed to. It didn't come from lack of just understanding. It just came from lack of effort at all. I didn't try at all. Yeah, that's my talent development story. You know, check out my other video on the summer, you know, TD summer, you know, leading up to my freshman year. But yeah, as always, just my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Holla.